What's up, guys? It's the new year, which means gyms are a little crowded with new members right now. So with that, you might be looking to avoid the gym right now, especially with all the crowds. And you might even be thinking about, hey, what if I invest in some home equipment, specifically a smart gym? Well, behind me is the Tonal, and this is by far one of my favorite pieces of equipment that I've ever owned. I'm gonna dive more into that later in the video, but I did want to put together the top 5 for you guys of smart home gyms that I've ever tried or experienced or owned, just so you guys can understand kind of the pros and cons of each, because even though I love the Tonal and it's been an amazing addition to the house, there are some drawbacks with it, and there are some other newer products that have come out recently that are definitely worth highlighting. So with all of that said, let's jump in and look at number 1. So let's begin with number 5. Sitting at number 5 is Forme. And they technically have 2 different models to choose from, the Forme Lift and the Forme Mirror. But that said, for today's video, we're gonna focus on the Forme Lift since it's more of a true weightlifting workout machine versus the Forme Mirror, which is more guided workouts. Keep in mind, most of the smart gyms in today's video will all be based on digital weight. So if you've never used digital weight before, it's actually quite heavy. It really, truly sometimes feels heavier than real weights. What I like about the Forme Lift is the overall aesthetic. I think it's the most aesthetic out of the entire list today. It folds up into a mirror-looking wall-mounted smart gym that basically blends in with most rooms, unlike the other smart gyms that you're gonna see in today's video. Offering a wide variety of custom, self-guided, and on-demand workouts, the Forme Lift has a ton of programming, and also with the immersive sound and the beautiful 4K HD touchscreen, it makes the training experience feel lifelike, almost as if you have a personal trainer in the room with you. And it also has a free lift option where you can do your own workouts if you don't want to use one of the trainers. The Forme Lift is one of the most expensive options on today's list, and it can set you back $5,000 or more depending on where you live as of filming this video. And that does not even include the monthly membership fee of $50 to use all of the classes. So with all that said, it is a great machine and definitely worth considering, but there's more on the list that I want to cover. So let's move on to number 4, which is a cheaper option if you're looking to save some money. Number 4 is the NordicTrack Fusion CST, and NordicTrack is a tried and true company that's been around for decades, so they know what they're doing. It's definitely an odder looking machine compared to some of the other ones on the list, but it does some great workouts and it has handles everywhere. So again, it's not as aesthetic as the Forme Lift, but with all of the components, you can get some really good workouts, and it's only $700 at the time of filming this video. And also, since it's not bolted to the wall like some of the other ones, it has the ability to move this machine anywhere in the house. So if you change things around often, that's definitely a nice pro compared to some of the other machines on this list. Overall, people seem to really enjoy the Fusion CST for the extensive library that it has of guided weighted workouts and cardio workouts. And it's also a pretty user-friendly interface overall. However, I will say that we've experienced issues with the tablet, including video buffering problems that disrupt workouts at times. It's definitely not our internet because we don't have issues with anything else. So I think it is the machine. But speaking of the screen, it's a 10-inch HD tablet basically that's included, so you can move it as you work out for better viewing experience rather than having it stationary in one spot. You can basically stream all the immersive trainer-led workouts or do your own custom workouts as well. The machine includes 6 smooth cable systems where different attachments can be added, and the machine has up to 100 pounds of total resistance, so a little bit less resistance than some of the other ones on this list, but 100 pounds is still pretty good for most people. Now, just like most of these, there is a membership required to their iFit app to access the guided material, but again, you can also just do your own free workouts with limited capabilities on the machine. That's the NordicTrack, but let's move on to number 3 because it's a very unique contender in today's list. Number 3 is the Tempo, and I say it's unique because it's the only one that actually uses physical weight versus digital weight. Tempo is like an old school gym, using traditional weights, but heightened with a smart screen and tracking features within the weights for their workout programs. The Tempo Studio is basically a smart home gym that resembles an armoire and can basically go in any room. And the Tempo Studio's basic package comes well equipped with 2 dumbbell bars, weight collars, and 5 sets of weight plates from 1.25 pounds up to 25 pounds per weight. You also have the option to upgrade the package to the Studio Plus or the Studio Pro, which includes additional weights and accessories like a bench and a barbell. And the Tempo Studio is designed to hold all of the equipment neatly, so you won't have to worry about it being spread across your living room floor or finding a place to store it. It's a really cool design, and I think they did a really good job with that. Just like the others, the Tempo Studio isn't cheap, and it requires a monthly membership to have access to most of the programming. As of filming this, it'll set you back about $2,500 or more depending on where you live, just for the machine itself. I don't think shipping's included in that. And then there's an additional $39 a month charge to use the programming that they have built in. What's nice is it lets you create up to 6 profiles, so everyone in your home can use it on that $39 a month membership, so that's pretty nice. And Tempo also has an app that you can download, available on both iOS and Android, that you can use while you're traveling. There are various live and on-demand classes you can choose from, including HIIT, bodyweight strength, bodyweight cardio, weightlifting, yoga, boxing, stretching, even meditation, and they come out with new stuff all the time. What's also super cool about Tempo is it uses artificial intelligence with 3D sensors to provide feedback on your form during your movement classes. And it can also count your reps and detect the dumbbell weights that you're using, which truly makes this gym a lot smarter than your typical equipment that you'd find at your local gym. So it's a solid option at number 3, but now let's move on to number 2. Number 2 is a brand new smart home gym that's getting a lot of buzz. AMP is a brand new addition to the world of smart fitness equipment, and its very minimal design makes it a great candidate for just about any room, dorm room, small apartment. I mean, it's so small and compact. It is mounted to the wall, so you won't be able to move it regularly, but the minimal design disguises an absolute workhorse of a strength training machine with workouts that rip your upper body, your core, your lower body. I mean, there's so much built into this little tiny machine. Now, it's being marketed at $1,800 at the time of filming this video, so AMP is relatively inexpensive compared to some of the others on the list, and the AMP is available to reserve now for a $99 deposit, which can be used towards the total purchase price when you buy the machine when it's available. Now, it is not available now, it is pre-release, but they are hoping to ship mid-2025, so only a couple months out from filming this. The AMP has one arm with a ton of attachments and a weight selector reminiscent of kind of like a Nest thermostat. And you use your phone as the screen, which for some people can be very convenient, and for some people it'll be very annoying for those of you that like to use your phones while you're working out. It also has different resistance modes like the Tonal, which I'll show you soon, and it includes drop sets, and it uses innovative ways to make you lift more, basically kind of like gamifying the workout. All of the workout content hasn't been released yet. This is all just what's been released so far to the public, but it looks very promising from what I've seen. They do say it'll have a $23 per month subscription, so slightly less than the rest of them. And the fact that it takes up such little space and relatively has an aesthetic look, it should be welcomed in most rooms and houses. To learn more about the brand new machine and its expected debut, definitely visit the link in the description below. I'll also link all of the machines mentioned in today's video so you can easily find them and do some more research. But now let's move on to my personal favorite, which is number 1. So number 1, no surprise, is Tonal. I absolutely love this machine. I have owned the Tonal now for 4 years. I bought it in 2021, and it has been amazing. They recently came out with the Tonal 2, which now has up to 250 pounds of resistance, whereas the Tonal 1, the one that I have, only has 200. But don't let that fool you. I mean, 200 pounds of digital magnetic weight feels so much heavier than real 200 pounds in real life. Like, it is crazy how heavy it feels and how good of a workout you get. But anyway, this machine single-handedly got me through the COVID era when all the gyms were shut down, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I mean, yes, it's expensive. It will set you back almost $5,000 just for the machine and the attachments and the bench. And you do have to pay an additional $59 a month for the membership, which is up from $55 when I first bought it, which is annoying. But they do have really extensive classes and programming. I mean, it's been out for 5 years now, so you have 5 years of workout data and classes that you can comb through, and they have new stuff coming out all the time. What's really cool is Tonal has different weight modes. They even help you build muscle when you're lowering the weight, and it responds and adapts to the weight in real time and tracks all of your progress. I've had some killer workouts on this machine. My wife has too. And sometimes when I'm slammed with work and can't make it to the gym, I'll cram in a quick workout on the Tonal late in the evening or early in the morning. Overall, it basically looks like a large screen or a large TV stacked vertically. The arms fold up inside, which is nice, but it's not quite as aesthetic as the Forme mirror. I do wish that they had done more of a mirror finish on this. I think it would have looked a lot better because it's quite bulky on the wall. But honestly, it is decent enough looking that we put it in our living room, especially when all folded up. Tonal also gives you feedback on your form with built-in cameras, but this is optional. You can turn them off if that's not your thing. And Tonal 2 brings the latest achievements and up-to-date scientific research to your fitness routine so you can work out smarter and see results faster as they claim. And I can truly say this machine has been an absolute game changer for us. All right, guys, well, those are the top 5 smart home gyms that I'd recommend as of 2025, although it's probably going to be the case for the foreseeable future. As mentioned in the video, there are links in the description below for any of the ones mentioned today if you want to go do some more research or learn more about them. But that's it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.